In this video, we're going to be looking at imaginary numbers, but we're going to be looking at conjugates as well. So we want it to be in the form of a plus bi. In previous videos, you might have seen it might have been a plus b root 2 or root 3, but in this case, we're looking at a plus bi. So we want to make it real. So we've got minus 1 over I. What we want to do to eliminate the I, we times it by 1, like the conjugate we did before, but in this case, we're going to times it by I. So minus 1, we're going to times it by I over I. I over I is 1. We're timesing something by 1. When you multiply something by 1, it doesn't change, it's itself. But we use it to manipulate the question. So we get 1 times I, or minus 1 times I is minus I. I times I is I squared. Now we know that I squared is minus 1, so we've got minus I over minus 1. Well, that's just going to be I. And it's in the form of a plus bi too, as well. In this case, a would equal 0 and b would equal 1. So if we look at another version of this question, if we go 5 over 2 take I, our next step is we've got to times it by its conjugate. And all we need to look at is 2 minus I. And you would have seen in previous videos when we looked at surds, in this case, we're looking at imaginary, it's the same concept, timesing it by the conjugate. So it's times 2 plus I over 2 plus I. It turns it into a difference of 2 squares as our denominator, so eliminate the i's. So expand, and it equals 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times I is 5i, sorry. Then we go down the bottom, so it becomes 4, take away I, 4 take away, we'll get rid of that minus, I squared. Now, that becomes 10 plus 5i. Now, that becomes 4, take away minus 1, because I squared is minus 1, equals 10 plus 5i over 5. Just move that up a bit, just to make it easier, fit some more room. So that equals 2 plus I, because 5 goes into 10 twice and 5 goes into 5 once. So we're left with 2 plus I. And in this case, A would be 2 and B would be 1. All right, let's have a look at another example. I'll keep this one here and I'll just, I can bring that with it. Okay, let's have a look at another example using the conjugate. So it's 2 plus 3i over 1 minus I. We're multiplying by the conjugate, and I'll put the conjugate in red here. So that's 1 plus I over 1 plus I. Okay, because it's the opposite. We're creating a difference of 2 squares to make it easier for ourselves. So 2 times 1 is 2 plus 2i. We're expanding because these are in brackets, obviously. And we're expanding. Plus 3i plus 3i squared over 1 minus I squared. We collect like terms as the numerator, and we've got 2 plus 5i. Now that's 3i squared. Remember, I squared is minus 1, so it becomes take 3 over, now we've got take away I becomes 1 take negative 1, which equals 2, collect like terms, we've got minus 1 plus 5i over 1 take minus 1 is 2, so that's 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we want it in the form of a plus bi, so it's going to be negative a half over 5 over 2i. And in this case, a would be minus 1 and b would be 5 over 2. So a would be minus a half and b would be 5 over 2.